The ship landed on the metal ground with a loud sound, held her small bag close to her chest, and looked out the window. The Galactic Academy was bigger than anything she had ever seen. Towers made of silver and glass reached up into a purple sky. Strange flying machines moved between the buildings like birds. She was only 16 years old. She was also the only human on this ship. "All new students, please exit and form a line," said a voice from the speakers. Stood up slowly. Her legs felt weak. Around her, alien students pushed toward the door. Some of them were twice her size. Some had 4 arms. Some had skin that changed colors. One student near her had no eyes at all, just smooth blue skin where eyes should be. None of them looked at her. To them, she was nothing, just a small, soft creature from a small, unimportant planet called Earth. She stepped off the ship and felt the cold air hit her face. The ground was hard and hundreds of students were already standing in long lines. Teachers in dark uniforms walked between them, checking names on glowing tablets. Found her place at the end of one line. The student in front of her was very tall. He had skin and 3 fingers on each hand. He turned around and looked down at her. "Human?" he asked. His voice was deep and rough. "Yes," said quietly. He made a sound like a laugh. "Good luck today, you will need it." Then he turned away and said nothing more. Did not ask what he meant. She already knew. Today was the assessment day. Every new student had to stand before the ancient scanner. The machine would read their body and mind. It would find their core strength, the one ability that made their species special. Every species had something. The tall aliens were strong. They could lift 10 times their own weight. The blue ones with no eyes could see through walls using sound. The ones with 4 arms were fast. They could move quicker than the eye could follow. But humans had nothing special. They were not strong. They were not fast. They could not fly or breathe underwater or read minds. On Earth, humans were the top species, but in the galaxy they were at the bottom. That was why I was scared. The lines moved slowly. One by one, students walked into a large white building. Could not see what happened inside, but she could hear sounds. Sometimes there was clapping. Sometimes there was silence. An hour passed, then 2 hours. The sun moved across the purple sky, finally reached the front of the line. "Name?" asked a guard at the door. He had 4 eyes and green skin. "You from Earth?" The guard looked at his tablet. "Human, go inside, wait for your turn." She walked through the door. Inside the building was one huge room. In the center stood the scanner. It was an old machine, covered in symbols and lights. It looked like it had been there for 1,000 years. Around the machine, hundreds of students sat on benches. Teachers stood near the walls, watching. At the front, a large screen showed the results for everyone to see. A tall alien with silver hair stood next to the scanner. He wore a black uniform with many medals. His face was hard and serious. "Next," he called out. A student with purple skin walked up to the scanner. He stepped onto a small platform. The machine made a low humming sound. Lights moved up and down his body. Then the screen changed. Words appeared in bright green letters. Species VORTAN. Core strength regeneration. Level high. The room clapped. The purple student smiled and walked away. Next, another student stepped up. This one had wings. The machine scanned her. Species SKYBORN. Core strength flight. Level very high. More clapping. The winged girl flew to her seat, showing off. Watch student after student. Each one had something special: strength, speed, mind control, fire resistance, poison blood. The list went on and on. Finally, there were only a few students left. Was one of them. Next. She stood up. Her heart was beating fast. She could feel everyone looking at her. Some of them whispered, "Is that a human? What is a human doing here? This will be funny." Walked to the platform. Her shoes made soft sounds on the metal floor. She stepped onto the scanner and stood very still. The tall teacher with silver hair looked at her. His name tag said TAEHO. His eyes were cold. "Human," he said. "Interesting. We have not had a human here for many years." Said nothing, she just waited. The machine started. The hum was loud this time, louder than before. The lights moved around her body up and down again and again. The machine seemed confused. Seconds passed, then a minute. The other students started to whisper. "What is happening? Is it broken?" Frowned, he looked at the machine, then at the screen. The screen was still empty. Then slowly words began to appear, but they were not green like the others. They were not blue or yellow or white. They were red. Bright burning red. The whole room went silent, stepped back. His cold face changed to something did not understand. Was it fear? Was it surprise? Species human. Core strength scanning. Level error. The screen flickered. The red light grew brighter. The machine started to shake. "Turn it off," someone shouted. But it was too late. The screen flashed one more time. Then a single word appeared. Core strength, adaptability. The light was so bright that everyone had to close their eyes. The machine made a terrible sound like it was screaming. Then everything went quiet. When opened her eyes, the whole room was staring at her. No one was laughing anymore. No one was whispering. Stood frozen. His mouth was open. His hands were shaking. On the screen, her results still glowed red. Red like fire. Red like blood. Red like danger. No one had ever seen red before. Looked at the screen, then at the teacher, then at all the alien students around her. "What does red mean?" she asked in a small voice. No one answered. But in their eyes, she saw something new, something she had never seen from aliens before. They were afraid. They were afraid of her. The room stayed silent for a long time, stood on the scanner platform not knowing what to do. She looked at her hands. They looked the same as always, small, soft, human. But everyone was staring at her like she was a monster. Was the first to move. He walked to the control panel near the scanner. His fingers moved fast over the buttons. He was checking something. "This cannot be right," he said quietly. "The scanner has not shown red for 300 years. A younger teacher ran to his side. She had blue skin and nervous eyes. "Sir, should we scan her again?" "Yes, immediately." Felt the machine start again. The lights moved over her body once more. The humming sound filled the room. Everyone watched the screen. The result was the same. Species human. Core strength, adaptability. Level cannot measure. Red, bright red, the color that should not exist. Turned to face the students. His voice was calm, but could see that his hands were still shaking. "Everyone leave. Now, assessment is finished for today." The students did not argue. They stood up quickly and moved toward the doors. Some of them ran. As they passed, they moved away from her like she was dangerous. Only, and the blue teacher remained. "You," said, pointing at, "come with me." He walked toward a door at the back of the room, followed him. Her legs felt weak. Her mind was full of questions. What did red mean? Why was everyone scared? What was adaptability? They walked through long hallways. The walls were white and clean. There were no windows. Finally, they reached a small office, sat behind a desk. He told to sit in the chair in front of him. For a moment, he just looked at her. His eyes studied her face, her hands, her body, like he was trying to understand something. "Do you know what the scanner does?" he asked. "It reads our strength," said, "the thing that makes our species special." "Yes, every species in the galaxy has one core strength. It is written in their blood, in their genes. It cannot change. A will always have regeneration. A will always have flight. It is fixed, permanent." He stopped talking. He looked at the window, even though there was nothing outside but darkness. The scanner uses colors to show how rare a strength is. Green is common, blue is rare, yellow is very rare. These colors have been seen many times. And red asked. Was quiet for a long time. Red means something that should not exist. Red means a strength that has no limit, no ceiling, no end. Did not understand. But my strength is adaptability. That is not special. Humans adapt to things, we always have. It is how we survived on Earth. Shook his head slowly. You do not understand. Every other species adapts a little. They can learn new things. They can get a little stronger or a little smarter, but there is always a wall, a point where they stop growing. He leaned forward. His eyes were intense. Humans have no wall. The scanner could not find your limit because you do not have one. Your species can keep growing, keep changing, keep adapting. Forever. Felt cold. She wrapped her arms around herself. That sounds like a good thing, she said. Why is everyone scared? Stood up, he walked to a shelf on the wall. It was full of old books and strange objects. He picked up a small metal box and brought it back to the desk. 300 years ago there was a war. The greatest war the galaxy has ever seen. 5 empires fought against each other. Billions died. Planets were destroyed. He opened the box. Inside was a piece of old paper. It was yellow and torn. This is a report from that war. It talks about a small planet that no one cared about. A planet called Earth. Felt her heart stop. During the war, Earth was attacked. The aliens thought it would be easy. Humans had no technology, no spaceships, no weapons that could fight back. Put the paper on the desk, could see strange writing on it. The attack lasted 3 days. On the first day the humans ran and hid. On the second day they studied the alien weapons. On the third day they fought back. He looked at with those cold eyes. They did not just fight back, they won. They took the alien ships. They learned to fly them in hours. They took the alien guns. They learned to use them in minutes. By the end of the third day, the alien army was destroyed. Could not speak, she had never heard this story. On Earth, no one talked about aliens. No one knew about the war. How is that possible? She whispered. Adaptability, said. Your species learned faster than anyone thought possible. You changed. You evolved. In 3 days, you went from having nothing to having everything. He sat back down in his chair. The 5 empires saw what happened. They were scared. They agreed to stop fighting each other. Instead, they made a rule, a law. Humans must never be allowed to grow. They must never be given technology. They must never be taught how to fight. They trapped us, said. Her voice was shaking. They kept us on Earth. Yes, for 300 years your planet has been watched, controlled. The empires made sure you could never leave, never learn, never become strong. Stood up, her chair fell backward. Then why am I here? Why was I allowed to come to this academy? Was quiet for a moment. The old empires are gone now. The rules have changed. Some people believe humans are not dangerous anymore. They think 300 years was enough to make you weak. He looked at the screen on his desk. It still showed her result. Red, glowing red. But the scanner does not lie. You are not weak. You are the most dangerous student in this academy. Did not feel dangerous. She felt small and scared. She was just a girl from Earth. She did not know how to fight. She did not know how to use alien technology. But deep inside, something was waking up, a feeling she could not name. What happens now? She asked. Stood up and walked to the door. Now you stay here. I must talk to the council. They will decide what to do with you. Will they send me home? He stopped at the door. He did not turn around. I do not know. Some of them will want to send you home. Some of them will want to keep you here and watch you. And some of them. He did not finish the sentence, but understood. Some of them would want to kill her. The door closed, was alone. She looked at her hands again, the same small, soft hands. But now she knew the truth. These hands could become anything. These hands had no limit. The galaxy was afraid of her. And maybe they were right to be afraid. Sat alone in the office for hours. No one came. No one brought food or water. She watched the sky outside the window turn from purple to black. Strange stars appeared, stars that Earth could never see. She thought about her home, her small apartment, her mother who worked 2 jobs, her little brother who loved to draw pictures of spaceships. She had worked so hard to come here. She had studied for years. She had passed every test. When the letter came saying she was accepted to the Galactic Academy, her mother had cried with happiness. "You will make us proud," her mother had said. "You will show them what humans can do." Now was not sure she would ever go home again. The door opened. Walked in, followed by 2 other people. One was an old woman with silver hair and golden skin. The other was a tall man with 4 arms and eyes that glowed green. "Stand up," said. Stood, her legs were tired, but she kept her back straight. The old woman walked around her slowly. She looked at like she was studying an insect. "So this is the human," the woman said. Her voice was soft but cold. "She does not look dangerous." "The scanner does not lie," Elder said. The woman with golden skin stopped in front of. "My name is, I am the head of the Academy Council. This is Elder," she pointed at the 4-armed man. "We have been talking about you for many hours." "What did you decide?" asked. Smiled, but it was not a friendly smile. "We have not decided yet. We have questions first." She walked to the desk and sat down. Stood behind her, his 4 arms crossed over his chest. "Tell me, human girl, why did you come to this academy?" Thought carefully before answering. "I wanted to learn. I wanted to see the galaxy. On Earth, we know almost nothing about the universe. I wanted to know more." "And what do you want to become?" "I do not know yet. Maybe a scientist, maybe an explorer. I just want to help my people." And looked at each other. Something passed between them, some silent message. "Your people," said slowly. "Do you know why humans have been kept on Earth for so long?" "Told me you were afraid of us." "Afraid," laughed softly. "That is one way to say it. Let me tell you the full truth, child." She pressed a button on the desk. The wall behind her changed. It became a screen showing old pictures and videos. 300 years ago, humans were nothing. You lived on one small planet. You fought with each other. You had not even reached your own moon. The screen showed Earth. It looked blue and green and beautiful. Then the war came. The 5 empires fought across the galaxy. Earth was in the middle of the fighting. One empire decided to use your planet as a base. They thought humans would be easy to control. The screen changed. It showed alien ships landing on Earth, soldiers marching through cities, humans running and screaming. For 2 days the aliens won every battle. They had better weapons, better armor, better everything. Humans could not fight back. Watched the screen. She saw human soldiers falling. She saw cities burning. But on the 3rd day, something changed. The screen showed a group of humans. They were holding alien weapons. Their faces were hard and angry. Your people learned. They watched the aliens fight. They studied the alien machines. And then they everything. Saw humans flying alien ships. Humans firing alien guns. Humans winning. In just 1 day, they learned what other species take years to learn. They did not just copy. They improved. They made the weapons stronger. They made the ships faster. The screen showed the alien army running away, ships exploding in the sky. By the end of the week, the humans had taken control of the whole alien base. They had learned to speak the alien language. They had learned to use alien computers. Some of them had even learned to fly between stars. Turned off the screen, the wall became normal again. The 5 empires saw this and became very scared. They forgot about their war. They came together to talk about one question: what do we do about the humans? You locked us away, said. Her voice was hard. Yes, we had no choice. Your species grows too fast. If we had let you free, you would have learned everything. You would have become stronger than all of us. That is not fair. We did nothing wrong. Fair spoke for the first time. His voice was deep and rough. You are talking about fair. Your species almost destroyed an entire army in 1 week. What would you do in 1 year, in 10 years, in 100 years? Did not have an answer. Stood up and walked to the window. For 300 years, we watched your planet. We made sure you could not leave. We made sure you could not find the technology you needed to grow. But now I am here, said. Yes, now you are here, turned to face her. The old empires are gone. New governments have taken their place. Some of them think the old rules were wrong. They think humans should have a chance. Is that why I was allowed to come? Yes, you are a test. If you can live here peacefully, if you can control your abilities, then maybe more humans can come. Maybe Earth can finally join the rest of the galaxy. Felt hope rising in her chest. So you will let me stay. And looked at each other again. We will let you stay, said. But you will be watched, every moment of every day. If you show any sign of danger, any sign that you cannot be controlled. She did not finish the sentence. I understand, said. I will not cause trouble, I just want to learn. We will see, walked to the door. We'll be your teacher. He will watch you and report to us. You will take classes with the other students, but you will have extra rules. What kind of rules? You cannot touch any weapons. You cannot learn any fighting skills. You cannot study advanced technology. You will only learn basic things. Wanted to argue, but she knew it would not help. She just nodded. Good, your room is ready. We'll take you there. And left, stayed behind. Come, he said. I will show you where you will live. They walked through more hallways. Other students were coming back now. The assessment was over. When they saw, they moved away. They whispered to each other. The red one. The human. Stay away from her. Tried not to listen. She kept her eyes forward and followed. Finally, they reached a small room. It had a bed, a desk, and a window. It was simple but clean. This is your room, said. Classes start tomorrow. Be ready at sunrise. He started to leave, then stopped. She looked at him. The council thinks they can control you. They think rules and watching will be enough. He paused. I am not so sure. I have seen what humans can do. I was there 300 years ago. Felt her breath stop. You were there in the war. Did not answer. He just walked away, closing the door behind him. Stood alone in her room. She looked at her hands again. The same hands, the same soft skin. But now she knew what these hands could become. The galaxy thought they could control her. They thought rules would be enough. They were wrong. The first week was hard. Went to classes every day. She sat in the back of the room. She did not talk to anyone and no one talked to her. The other students watched her constantly. Some looked scared. Some looked angry. Some looked at her like she was a puzzle they wanted to solve. She learned many things. She learned about the history of the galaxy. She learned about the different species and their planets. She learned basic science and mathematics. But she was not allowed to learn the things she really wanted. When the class studied weapons, she had to leave the room. When they practiced fighting, she had to watch from far away. When they used advanced machines, she had to sit quietly with her hands in her lap. It was frustrating. She could feel something inside her, something that wanted to learn more, but the rules kept her locked away. One day during lunch, 3 students walked up to her table. They were big and strong. The leader had skin and red eyes. His name was, and he was one of the strongest species in the galaxy. Human, he said, I have been watching you. Looked up from her food. What do you want? I want to understand. The scanner said you are special, but I do not see anything special. You are small. You are weak. You cannot do anything. The other students in the eating hall stopped talking. Everyone was watching. "I just want to eat my lunch," said. "No, I want to test," smiled. His teeth were sharp and white. "If you are so special, prove it." The council said, "I cannot fight." "I am not asking you to fight. I am asking you to compete." He pointed at a machine on the other side of the room. "That is a strength tester. Every student uses it. Let us see who is stronger." Knew this was a trap. Were famous for their strength. She could not win. But everyone was watching. If she said no, they would think she was a coward. "Fine," she said. They walked to the machine. It was simple. You had to push a metal bar as hard as you could. The machine measured your power. Went first, he grabbed the bar and pushed. The machine made a loud sound. Numbers appeared on the screen. Power level 847. The students cheered. It was a very high score. "Your turn, human." Grabbed the bar. It was cold and heavy. She pushed as hard as she could. Power level 23. The room exploded with laughter. Laughed the loudest. 23, that is less than a child. This is your special human. Felt her face grow hot. She wanted to run away and hide, but something stopped her, a voice in her head. "Watch, learn, adapt." She looked at the machine more carefully. She looked at how it stood, how he had held the bar, how he had used his body. "Let me try again," she said. Laughed more. "Go ahead, it will not help." Grabbed the bar again. This time she stood differently. She changed how she held it. She remembered how it pushed with his whole body, not just his arms. Power level 67. The laughter stopped. That was almost 3 times better than before. "Again," said. She tried again. She made more changes. She found a better angle. She used her legs more. Power level 134. The room was silent now, was not laughing anymore. "That is impossible," he said. "No one improves that fast." Did not answer. She just grabbed the bar again. Power level 201. Power level 287. Power level 356. Each time she learned something new. Each time she got better. In just 10 minutes she went from 23 to over 350. Stepped back, his face was pale. Stop it." But could not stop. Something had woken up inside her, something that had been sleeping her whole life. Power level 412. Power level 489. Power level 523. She was not as strong as. She knew she would never reach 847. Her body had limits. But she had learned more in 10 minutes than most students learn in a year. A hand grabbed her shoulder. She turned around and saw. "That is enough," he said. His voice was quiet but firm. Let go of the bar. She was breathing hard. Her arms were shaking. Looked at the screen, then at the crowd of students. "Everyone leave. Lunch is over." The students ran away. Looked at one more time before leaving. His face was full of fear. When everyone was gone, spoke. "That was stupid. I did not fight anyone. I just used the machine. You showed them what you can do. You showed them how fast you learn." He looked angry. "The council told you to hide your abilities. They told you to be normal. I tried to be normal. They pushed me." Was quiet for a moment, then he sighed. "You are right. They should not have pushed you. But now everything is more complicated." "Why?" "Because now they know. Now the whole academy knows that the scanner was right. You are not normal. You are not weak. You are something they have never seen before." Looked at the machine. Her last score was still on the screen. 523, not high enough to beat, but high enough to scare him. "Is that bad?" Did not answer right away. He walked to the window and looked out at the sky. 300 years ago I fought against humans. I saw them learn and grow and change. I saw them become warriors in just days. I thought I would never see anything like that again. He turned to look at her. Today I saw the same thing. In just 10 minutes, you learned what takes other students months to learn, and you did it without any training, without any help. Is that why you look scared? I am not scared, he paused. I am amazed. Did not know what to say. The council will hear about this. They will want to add more rules. They will want to lock you away even more. Then let them try. Looked at her with surprise. I am tired of hiding, said. I am tired of sitting in the back and watching others learn. If they want to lock me away, they will have to catch me first. For the first time smiled. It was a small smile, but it was real. You sound like the humans I fought against. They never gave up. No matter how bad things got, they kept fighting, they kept learning, they kept growing. Maybe that is what it means to be human. Nodded slowly. Maybe it is. He walked to the door. Tomorrow, more students will challenge you. They will want to test you. They will want to see if what happened today was real. Let them come. Open the door. Get some rest. You will need your strength. He left, stood alone in the empty eating hall. She looked at her hands one more time. The same hands that had scored 23 just minutes ago. The same hands that had reached 523. The same hands that had no limit. Tomorrow would be harder. Tomorrow would be more dangerous. But was ready. She was human, and humans never stopped growing. The challenges came every day. Students from every species wanted to test the human girl. They wanted to prove that the scanner was wrong. They wanted to prove that she was nothing special. They were all disappointed. On the second day, a named challenge to a puzzle test, were famous for their sharp minds. They could solve complex problems faster than any computer. Finished the first puzzle in 30 seconds, took 5 minutes. But did not give up. She studied the puzzle, she watched how his mind worked, she learned the patterns. The second puzzle took her 3 minutes. The third took 1 minute. By the 10th puzzle, she was finishing them in 40 seconds. Stopped smiling after that. On the 4th day, a student with 4 arms challenged to a speed test. His species could move their hands faster than the eye could follow. They were the best pilots in the galaxy. The test was simple. Press buttons when lights appeared. The faster you press, the higher your score. The 4-armed student scored 940, scored 120. But she kept trying. She kept learning. After an hour, her score was 450. After 2 hours, it was 670. She never caught up to him completely. Her body only had 2 arms, but she came closer than anyone thought possible. By the end of the first month, every student in the academy knew his name. Some hated her, some feared her, but some were starting to respect her. Was one of them. He found her sitting alone one evening, looking at the stars. "Can I sit here?" he asked. Looked at him with surprise. After their first meeting, he had not spoken to her once. "Yes." He sat down next to her. For a long time, neither of them spoke. "I was wrong about you," finally said. "I thought you were weak. I thought the scanner made a mistake. And now I understand why the old empires were scared. Now I understand why they locked your people away." Felt a pain in her chest. "Does that mean you are scared of me too?" Thought about this for a moment. "No, I'm not scared. I am curious." "Curious about what?" "About what you will become. You have been here for 1 month. In that time, you have learned more than most students learn in a year. What will you be like after 4 years, after 10 years, after 100 years?" Had asked herself the same question many times. "I do not know," she said honestly. "I do not know what my limit is. I do not even know if I have one." Nodded slowly. "That is what makes you different. The rest of us know exactly what we can become. We are born with our strengths, and those strengths never change. But you are like an empty book. You can write anything on your pages." It was a beautiful way to say it. Smiled. "Thank you." "Thank me for what?" "For not treating me like a monster." They sat together and watched the stars. For the first time since coming to the academy, did not feel alone. The next morning, something happened that changed everything. Alarms rang through the whole academy. Red lights flashed in every hallway. Students ran to the main hall, where the council were waiting. "We have a situation," said. Her golden face was serious. "A ship has crashed near the academy. It was carrying important supplies for the outer colonies." The screen behind her showed a picture of the crashed ship. It was huge and broken, lying on the side of a mountain. "The pilot is trapped inside. The ship systems are damaged. We have 12 hours before the ship explodes." Students whispered to each other. This was serious. "We are sending a rescue team. We need volunteers." Many hands went up. Hand. The four-armed student's hand, strong students, smart students, the best students in the academy. Raised her hand too. Saw her and frowned. "Human, you are not trained for rescue work." "Neither are the other students. We are all just learning." Stepped forward. "This is too dangerous for you if something happens." "If something happens, I will adapt. That is what I do." The room was silent. Everyone looked at. Finally, the old woman nodded. "Fine, but you will follow orders. If you cause any problems, you will be sent home immediately." Nodded, "I understand." The rescue team flew to the crash site. There were 10 students and 3 teachers, including. They landed near the broken ship and began to work. The first problem was the door. It was stuck, and the other strong students tried to open it, but it would not move. "The metal is bent," said. "We need cutting tools." "We did not bring cutting tools," one teacher said. "We did not think we would need them." Looked at the door. She looked at the way the metal was bent. She thought about everything she had learned in the past month. "I have an idea," she said. She found a loose piece of metal from the ship. She bent it into a new shape. Then she pushed it into the small gap near the door. "Push here. Use your full strength, but push slowly." Did not ask questions. He pushed where she pointed. The door groaned. The metal bent. Slowly a hole appeared. "Keep going." The hole got bigger. Finally, it was big enough for a person to fit through. Looked at with surprise. "How did you know that would work?" "I watched how the metal moved. I saw the weak points. I just figured it out." They climbed through the hole. Inside, the ship was dark and dangerous. Wires hung from the ceiling. Broken glass covered the floor. "The pilot is in the control room," said. "This way." They moved through the ship carefully. There were more problems, a blocked hallway, a locked door, a computer that would not turn on. Each time helped find a solution. She learned from every problem. She adapted to every situation. By the time they reached the control room, the other students were looking at her differently. Not with fear, not with anger. With respect. The pilot was alive but hurt. His leg was trapped under a heavy machine. They worked together to free him. "We need to leave now," said. "The ship could explode any minute." They carried the pilot out of the ship. They ran to their rescue vehicle. Behind them, the ship made terrible sounds. Fire and smoke rose into the sky. They flew away just as the ship exploded. The sound was like thunder. The light was like a second sun. But they were safe. The pilot was safe. When they returned to the academy, was waiting for them. "I watched everything," she said. "Every problem, every solution." She looked at. "You saved that pilot's life." "I just helped," said. "No, you did more than help. You showed us something important." The old woman walked closer. For the first time, her eyes were not cold. They were warm. "For 300 years, we thought humans were a threat. We thought your adaptability was dangerous. We thought we had to keep you locked away." She put her hand on shoulder. "We were wrong. Your ability to adapt is not a weapon. It is a gift that can help the whole galaxy." Felt tears in her eyes. This was what she had always wanted. Not to be feared, not to be locked away, just to be accepted. Does this mean? Smiled a real smile. It means the rules have changed. You are no longer a prisoner here. You are a student, a real student with all the rights of every other student. The other students cheered, clapped on the back, hugged her. Stood in the back watching. He was smiling too. Later that night stood alone on the roof of the academy. She looked up at the stars. Somewhere out there was Earth, her home, her family. They will never believe this, she whispered. But she knew it was true. She was not just a weak human anymore. She was not just a scared girl from a small planet. She was the first human to prove that her species belonged in the galaxy. The first human to show that adaptability was not a curse, but a blessing. And she was just the beginning. One day more humans would come. They would learn and grow and change just like her. They would help build a better galaxy. The old empires had been afraid of humans because they had no ceiling. They had no limit. They could become anything. But that was exactly why the galaxy needed them. Looked at her hands one last time. The same hands that had started with nothing. The same hands that could become everything. She smiled and walked back inside. Her story was just beginning.